7 minutes. And Chris, do you have the form?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So please welcome Shelley Henry.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow members, and guests, good afternoon. My name is Shelley Henry, and I'm pleased to be here this afternoon to provide an introduction of myself. As I do my introduction today, I'd like to stop for a minute and have you think about surprises. Surprises are an event that is a little bit unexpected. It includes a bit of astonishment as related to a fact, an event, or a thing. Surprises help you remember things that are a little bit of a surprise or sort of novel will help you recall those. It will help enhance your memory related to that activity. So think for a moment about a time you were recently surprised. Maybe it was lights flashing on top of a police car. Not necessarily a good surprise. Maybe it was scratching off a winning lottery ticket. Those are moments that you don't easily forget. I'm hoping with my introduction icebreaker speech today that I can share a few surprising facts about myself in the effort to help a few of those bits of information stick with you and get to know me a little bit better. You may be surprised to learn that I graduated from high school with 10 people in my class. That's 10 people, including me. And I know that doesn't happen very often, so people are often surprised when they hear that little tidbit of information about me. I grew up in a small town in northern North Dakota. The name of the town is Willow City, and it has a population currently of 170 people. Some people would barely even call that a town, but very small. My dad was a farmer, as most people I knew growing up. It's a very agricultural area, and someone might have actually said this in a speech before, but the closest thing we had to a skyscraper was a grain elevator. Another surprising fact about me, I'm 5 foot 2 inches tall. So you would probably expect that I did not play basketball when I was in high school, but I did, despite my height and my maybe lack of skill, or maybe I didn't have skills that a typical college basketball recruiter might be looking for. I still managed to persevere, and I had some hustle, and I managed to score over 1,000 points in my high school basketball career, and actually set a record at my high school. And since my high school closed 5 to 6 years later due to the small town, nobody ever broke my record. And will forever. So that's kind of a fun little tidbit. You know, I went to a very small school and lived in a small town, but I actually received a great education. Sometimes it's felt a little bit more like tutoring. I think back to my senior year math class. There were 2 of us in class, and the class was actually held in the principal/math teacher's office. So there was no goofing around because his eyes were always on us. No room for error there. You know, it's interesting growing up in a small town. You have a lot of opportunities that you might not otherwise have. When I think back on it now, it's really surprising the amount of things I was able to do to be exposed to different leadership opportunities, and really just had this wide variety of experiences that I don't think I ever would have had growing up in a larger town or community. Some of those experiences helped me to be more successful in college and helped me to have some successful job opportunities and subsequent job searches. And that's how I landed at Mayo Clinic. I feel like I landed in one of the best jobs there is at Mayo Clinic. I have the job of saying thank you to people. You might be surprised that there is a job designed just for the purpose of saying thank you to people at Mayo Clinic. But it really is quite simple. The department I work in, we are focused on saying thank you to benefactors. And it's amazing the number of people. There are many, many people who give generously to this amazing place called Mayo Clinic. So me and my team, it's our focus to say thank you. We might put a plaque on the wall to honor someone. We might write someone a special thank you letter. We might invite them to a special event so they can hear about exciting breakthroughs in research. So there's many ways we can actually do this. Last year, there were over 130,000 people that the Department of Development had to say thank you. So you can see how there really are a lot of people who are interested in they're thanking Mayo with a contribution, and then we are in turn thanking them for the amazing things that they're making happen. but 130,000 people for the department. That is job security. I do feel like my job is awesome in many ways, but I am, however, looking for additional opportunities. So while there are many wonderful things, I do hope that I can seek out some potential growth opportunities, and that's the reason I joined Toastmasters, so I can improve my ability to speak and to lead and be ready to seize that next opportunity that comes my way. While I am looking for opportunity in my work life, I'm not, or I should say challenges. I'm always looking for opportunity wherever I am. But while I'm not looking for additional challenges at my home life, I am looking for them at my work life. My home life, my hands are full. I currently live with 3 young girls. And I can think of an example recently. I was laying in bed snuggled up with one of my daughters. We're reading books, we're having this nice quiet moment. The day is coming to a close, we're talking about what happened in the day. She turns to me and says, "Mom, do you like those lines on your forehead?" A moment of surprise was followed by much laughter. And I have to say that laughter and a sense of humor is how my husband, Jeff, and I managed to live in a house full of 3 active girls. There's always something going on. But between the fights that we're breaking up, between the constant chatter, between the many hours we spend at softball tournaments, between the 4-H projects gone bad, depending on some 4-H projects, you know about that, and between the many summer nights we spend on the softball field, we do feel like we grow from parenting those girls every day. And when I think about my daughter, I think, no, honey, I don't particularly like these lines on my forehead. But my dear, there's never a dull moment when living with you, and that's something I greatly appreciate. So I hope you learned a few unexpected facts about me today, and I thank you for taking the time to listen. Joining Toastmasters has been a wonderful experience to me. Thank you for the warm welcome. Every session I've attended, it's greatly exceeded my expectations.
Thank you, Shelley, for sharing that. For sharing that wonderful talk. Regarding opportunities are concerned, this is a great place. You can have opportunity to speak because somebody doesn't show up, opportunity to evaluate, opportunity to be. Yeah, that's for 8 minutes.
The truth shall set you free, but first it will piss you off. That's the lesson that I'm going to cover today, thanks to one of our lovely Toastmasters, which you'll hear more about in a minute. Actually, she taught both me and my physicians something, the truth that we weren't anxious to hear. Some of you were here 2 weeks ago when I started to give a speech over the protest of the Toastmasters. And we had a squabble about that, but she finally let me give the talk and get evaluations before she took me to the emergency room. She saw 3 symptoms in me that my physician seemed to have missed. I was pale, my fingertips were blue, and I was short of breath. And she realized how urgent it was to get me to the ER. So, we're doing it a little bit early. You're handed out a scribble of things that probably will be confusing until you hear the talk. So eventually, I let her teach me to the ER. She left here, went and got her car and drove me there. I said, I don't even want to go to the ER. All you do is wait around for service there. She said, take my word for it, you won't have to wait. The minute they heard short of breath, 3 people pounced on me. One stuffed an oxygen mask in my head. One covered me with electrodes for an EEG. And the third one pushed me as fast as they could into an examination room. I won't really go into the details of what happened there, except to say that the care was very good and effective. When I left, I was given 3 pieces of advice. Air for a month, blood thinner for 3 months, and every day walk to the Healthy Living Center and work out. But the hospital put me into the extreme nursing care at Charterhouse, and they couldn't do it. Nobody had the time to walk they felt it had to be accompanied, and nobody had time to walk all the way to Healthy Living except me. And so I gave them an ultimatum. I said, either I follow that advice or I'm walking out of here. So they released me from the obligation of being accompanied, and I got to go to Healthy Living, and I've done it every day since. Obviously, I'm not using oxygen. For some reason, which no one's explained, and I don't care to know, I don't need it. I have what's called an oximeter to measure my blood regularly to make sure I'm being oxygenated. But you can see if my hands are relatively red, that's a good sign. So, for some reason, I don't need a can, which is a big issue. I wanted really to leave you with 3 lessons that I learned. Oh, by the way, while I was in emergency, my physician came to me to apologize for not finding my condition. I couldn't believe it. He's a senior physician here at Mayo, and he came over to the ER just to apologize for missing my condition, which a lovely Toastmistress could see by herself. Apparently he took a class afterward and found out that there was a test he should have given me. And I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's got a bunch of letters that I don't understand. But it would have saved me the trouble. So what's the moral of the whole story? Well, there's 3 stories. 1, how in the world do you think anybody was saving your life? I told Tanya that I couldn't tell her how to do that, but I could encourage her to keep following her instincts. And I'm going to try and have a long talk with her about a book, to find a book that she would like to keep as a treasure. The second lesson that I want to leave is the following. Believe it or not, I can't remember it. Oh, yes, of course. We're in Toastmasters, and although I'm indebted to Tanya for being so right and being so careful to help me and probably save my life, since we're in Toastmasters, we're trying to get better. And so I'm going to make the comment to Tanya that I haven't said to a person that she should not have driven me to the ER. She should have called 911 for 3 reasons. 1, they have a can of oxygen in the ambulance. 2, they're used to giving first care to people who have a heart attack. And 3, they can drive even faster than she can.
I don't know about that. That's debatable.
Maybe we should have a race. So that's my second point. And here's my third point. This is for each of you. Please keep exercising. This all got triggered by the fact that I gave up exercising for a month before this because I thought something was more important. And because of that, all this chaos came. So please keep exercising every day if you can. Thank you very much.